Hi guys, I'm sorry that I haven't been here with you last week, and also a little delay in this week. I'm going through so much. These transits are such an amazing opportunity, and the universe just shows me how transformative this year is going to be, as I felt when I saw it in the Brave New Year's prediction, but I couldn't really feel it. I could see it, or I could sense it, but I couldn't feel it in my bones. And now I'm just being pushed from one initiation to the other. So I was a little physically weak, but then other things happened, and I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it earlier. And I have a feeling that these my extreme rhythms are going to display themselves more in the time to come. So I might not do it exactly on the right times, but it would be the exact right times for me, and of course for you, because you're part of this thing that happens here, this energy. So as I feel it, the Phoenix is really waking up big time, and with a lot of help from Uranus and from Pluto, I'm being pushed, and I know that many people are being pushed, and it's actually all of us are being pushed, but those who are ready for the next step, they are recognized and recognize higher forces that can help them to transform, and the transformation is needed on this planet. So I just remind you that it's not going to be easier, it's not going to be calmer, it's going to be strong and intensive more and more and more, but this is the way it is, and when we are anchored in our design, we can handle it. And it's not only that we can handle it, we need to go through this. This is for the transformation of the planet, it's not only for ourselves. And if we're being called, well, I am being called, so I'm being pushed into the next initiation, the next level, and that's it. So let's see what this week is going to give us. Yesterday, the sun and the earth entered these two gates of the cross of the sleeping phoenix, the gate of the spirit, abundance, and the gate of sexuality, dispersion. And we know these gates very well, first of all, because we already know them, but also because they are in the nodes. So we are going to have a very, very intense week with these two themes. We just can't do anything about it, just embrace it. It's going to be very, very strong, it's going to be felt very strongly. We're not going to get into these gates, we know them, but because we talk about food and nutrition and about the way we treat our bodies, then the 55th gate is a really very delicate place with this fear of emptiness that runs to the refrigerator to fill the emptiness. And of course, this fickleness and this being in love with love, and the need for abundance that sometimes transforms into hunger, physical hunger. So all these things, we can just look at them and embrace the feelings that come, and just, we can just look at our patterns and find a place in ourselves for forgiveness, and maybe release these imprints that we have because we don't need them anymore. It's not something that we can be sure that will happen, but we can try to see, and by watching things and just loving them, sometimes there is a release. So this is the gate of the spirit, and we know very well this gate of sexuality. So this week is going to be very interesting. I think, this was also yesterday. Yesterday these two partners, Venus and Mars, entered two ego gates. So there's a lot of a lot going on with this, a lot of ego and this fickleness and emotionality. And we know we already have the channel of transformation that pushes us all kinds of transformations. So this is very, very intensive energy. And today, 12 GMT, Mercury is going to enter the 49th gate, the gate of revolution, of emotional principles. Sexually, this is the gate of obedience. It needs to be obeyed. So we have a party going on with all this sexuality in all its flavors, that all these little flavors and fine tunings. You know, everybody connects. Every one of us connects to something else, and it's going to be very, very juicy. And tomorrow, the moon is going to enter the gate of the egoist. So we are going to have a real party in the ego. So I really recommend to watch it. I mean, the defined egos and the open egos, this is really strong. And I'm sure it's going to affect all of us. It will be 10 strong egoistic hours with the gate of revolution, with the gate of the spirit, and all with this so much sexuality in the air. So let's just watch, and you know, we can enjoy it, but we can also it can be also overwhelming. So just, you know, watch. Depends where you are in the planet, if it's going to be in your night or day. It's interesting how people around you will take this energy in, and what will be the feedback, I mean, what we will feel from this. Another major change, interesting change, is the movement of Uranus to the second line, the gate of evolution. I really enjoy this Uranus era. Yes, not only because it connects to my 53rd gate, but I think I can feel it all over this things from the past that needs to be closures, that needs to happen, and new cycles. And it's like, it's really great energy to support our evolution. It's really a time of transformation and evolution. And the second line is a very interesting line, in the gate of increase, the gate of growth. And the second line is identification, recognition and acute capitalization of trends, power for growth through capitalization in trends, or the other side, growth which stops in reaction to trends or change. So this is very, very interesting, and also it has, you know, this gate has this connection to the 32nd gate, because these two channels, the channel of maturation and the channel of transformation, they appear many times together. So all this configuration that we have now in the transits, especially with the long-term transits, they really, really support our evolution. Saturn in the gate of ideas, also all these gates, all these energies, they just, you know, it displays best in this very, very strong energy of Pluto that sits in the Mary Maiden in the fourth line, you know, this line of the pure fuel for transformation. And it can really push us to our next level, or of course to the next wall if we're not ready. But this is very, very strong. This is why it is darkness or light, because it depends if we are ready, and what forces our frequency recognizes and attracts. So we have here a real potential for evolution. So let's just grab it. And then in the 21st, the 10th gate is going to, the moon is going to be in the 10th gate, the gate of the behavior of the self. And we know that each each hour, I mean, it's 10 hours, it's like 1 hour and a half, or between 1 hour and 2 hours, we will have the archetypes of behavior from the first line to the sixth line. But the important point of the week, because all of this transformation, is the beginning of the death cycle, which is going to be in the 21st in 5:31 GMT AM. And this is the time that we can really connect to releasing what's old and embracing the new, because this is the monthly death cycle, and we are in these energies of transformation that are so strong. So let us just open up to this, just open ourselves. And in this time, this day and hour, I know that I will sit with myself and surrender to what can die in me in order to start something new. And then a little later, the sun and the earth will enter the fourth line, and look what we are going to have. The moon will be in the fourth line, in the opportunist, and so many fourth lines. I mean, the sun and the earth and the nodes and Mercury and Saturn and Pluto, of course. So this is going to be a day of lots of opportunities in the network, sisterhood, brotherhood. The feeling of even the sexuality is actually a non-sexual friendliness, and everything is going to be about externalization, about recognizing opportunities, giving to others opportunities. So let's embrace this. I think it's really beautiful to watch it so strongly, how the fourth line operates. Another major change, that in the 21st, Neptune is going to leave and close its deep job that it did on the 37th gate, the gate of friendship and family and need to be touched by God. All this, bye-bye. All these people that felt it very strongly, that the 37 connected to the design, they can breathe, but we are going to have the doubt instead. We had a taste of it, but now it's going to be about 2 years of doubt, and we really need to remember that this is not ours, and this is only data that gets into our system, and we really need to beware and not take this especially in decision making. And of course, all these people with the fourth gate, nice. We are going to have a nice time, and I hope you can take it easy and share with us your doubts and your logical, mental processes that are going to happen. I assume that we all feel it. It doesn't matter if it connects to us directly or not, but I think the people with the fourth gate are going to be, I don't know if to call it the luckiest, but they will feel it strongly. So this is Neptune, and welcome Neptune. Well, we can't do anything, no choice, just embrace it and remember that it is not us. And then in the 22nd, in 8 a.m. GMT, the sun and the earth are going to enter the fifth line, and we're going to have heretical seduction for like 20 hours. And then afterwards, the next day, we are going to have, on the 23rd, we're going to have the sixth line day, selfish one night stand, the line of selfishness, the 55th and the sixth line. This is the era that we are going to enter soon. So we are going to taste it a little bit. And of course, the one night stand, this intimacy that the sixth line knows to create. So we are all going to feel it. And that's it. I didn't forget what I promised about nutrition. It is being cooked. It is being cooked. And it's just that things are happening so intensively for me, and I don't have enough hours in the day, but it is being cooked and it will be served soon on our plates. Some recommendations or inspiration about nutrition, about food. And in the meantime, we remember that we have this lovely quartet. We have our strategy that keeps us centered and keeps us from meeting the world with resistance. We don't need that. We have our genetic, energetic strategy that is correct for each one of us. And just, when we surrender to it, we don't feel it anymore. We just become it. We don't need to remind ourselves, I'm a generator, I'm a manifester, I'm a projector. We just be. We just we transform into this. We transform back into who we are, and we just live this strategy. And then we have our inner authority or decision-making process that just directs us as our inner GPS. We sleep alone in our aura for two reasons. First of all, because it's fun. And the second thing, it's because it saves our lives. And we nourish ourselves in the correct way. And we know that nourishment is mental nourishment and energetic nourishment from the correct environment. And we need the correct auras around us, the correct people. It's very, very important. And of course, what we put in our body, the food, is also all of this very, very important. We need to be more and more discerning, and we have our strategy, authority, and sleeping alone to create the foundation for this discernment, because the more we live as ourselves, the more discerning we are and the more sensitive we are, and our body knows to direct us. So I loved being with you again. Thank you very much, and see you soon. Bye-bye.